Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into this video, I would like to say, if you're new here, I have two rules over at this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule is for you to always verify whatever it is you learn, whether it's on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. That should be a rule of life. You have to verify the things that you learn, especially when it comes to things like credit scores and credit cards. Always remember that. Verify what you learn, whether you have to do it with multiple sources on multiple platforms. Be sure to verify what it is that you learn. So this was a video that I really wasn't planning on making. I didn't have it in my plans, but it's kind of spontaneous. And I decided to make this because of some of the recent comments that I've been getting as of late. My channel is growing, so I've been getting a lot of new subscribers, but I could tell just by some of the comments that I'm getting that some of the people aren't aware of how we operate things over here at Water Your Soil. My subscribers know around here we like to take accountability for how things are and also try to come up with solutions for things. So getting into this video is going to be about what they don't tell you. Who is they? They, of course, is subjective. It could be anyone who told you about credit, whether you learned online, from family, from friends, wherever you learned about credit. There is one important thing that has been getting left out, and it got left out for me early on in my life. So to inform you all who are new here, I'm from the east side of Buffalo. I was born and raised on the east side of Buffalo. And for those of you who don't know much about the east side of Buffalo, when I was growing up there in the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s, it was a lot of crime, it was a lot of poverty, it was a lot of violence, things like that. But the main issue was poverty. And I would hear about credit scores. If you were to ask me to name the three major credit bureaus, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't. I had no clue who they were or how it worked. And I knew about credit scores. I knew you needed a credit score to get things like a home or a car and things like that. But I didn't know the details and the ins and outs of how credit scoring worked. Back then it was, hey, you just got to pay your bills on time and make sure that you're managing your bills and you'll have a good credit score. But that really isn't how it works. So back then it was frustrating to know about credit and credit scoring. And when I got a little older in my early 20s, it definitely was frustrating because you figured I knew the importance of credit scores and how important they were, but I didn't know how they worked. I was still ignorant to it. And one of the main things that causes frustrations with anything in life, whether it's credit scores, stock investment, educational things, it could be anything. When you have to know something and you're not informed about it, it could cause so much frustration. It could cause bitterness. It could cause anger, and it could cause a feeling of disdain. And honestly, that's what I see a lot when it comes to credit scores. I see people come by here and they talk down on credit scores. We don't talk down on credit scores around here. We like credit scores because credit scores are able to help us get credit cards. It helps us get homes. It helps us get vehicles, whatever it may be. Even if we're not using our credit score, we still have it as a plan B option. So we don't talk down on credit scores over here. Is the FICO credit scoring system fair? No. I mean, I think everyone can admit that, but as I always tell my subscribers, it's either you play their game or you get played. It's one or the other. And you can keep having this mentality like, oh, I don't need no credit scores. Credit scores are for broke people. Credit scores are for losers. These are some of the comments I get. And all I have to tell you is I understand your frustration. I understand where it comes from. But what it comes down to is you're either going to play the game, meaning the game that the credit scoring system for FICO has created, or you're going to tap out and get rolled over. It's one or the other. You can keep saying, hey, I'm going to get as much cash as I want and just use cash, and that's going to be how I go about doing things. But one day you might end up desiring something where you need your credit score, whether it's an expensive home that you can't buy with cash or whatever it may be. You never know what reasons for you needing your credit score, but you may come across that reason one day, and you don't want to be in a position where you're like, hey, I don't have a credit score. Let me figure out this CPN or whatever people do these days. We don't even talk about CPNs over here because we know how to build up a credit score the correct way, a FICO credit score that is, using your own social security number, not using a CPN or anything like that. We know how to do it. And I'm going to be honest with you all. one of the first steps is admitting that, you know, you do need your FICO credit score. When I started my journey, I was frustrated and I was ignorant. I'll admit that. I was in that mindset like, hey, forget credit scores. I don't really need it. I had a relationship back around 2008, and the woman I was dating, she was like, hey, you need to try to work on your credit score. So I went to a local store in the mall and I applied for their credit card. This was like 2008, and I was rejected back then. I was rejected for the card, and I felt so discouraged. So I had the mentality of, man, forget credit. After getting rejected back then, I had that mentality like, I don't need credit scores. I'm not thinking about credit scores. But fast forward to 2014, I ended up needing my credit score. And that's what, 6 years later, I needed my credit score. And my credit score was nowhere to be found. And that's really what started my journey back then in that 2014 range. And that's also where I decided to soak up as much knowledge as I needed in regards to credit scoring. But I just want to tell you all, I know it's hard, especially if you're someone who grew up like I did, or you're from the type of environment like I am, where poverty was high and there was a lack of financial literacy going on. And I want you all to know that FICO credit scoring, it is not rocket science. You can learn it. It just takes time for you to learn. You're not going to learn it overnight, but you can learn it. You can learn the ins and outs of credit scoring and how FICO credit scores work. I have resources over here at this channel. I got videos. If those are not good enough for you, I have a book, Strategies to Master Credit. If that's not good enough for you, I have a course over at wateryoursoil.com. And if those things aren't good enough for you, I encourage you to find the information elsewhere, as long as you find the information. See, I'm not one of these people where I'm like, you have to purchase and buy from me. You don't. I care about you simply getting the information, no matter the source. There are a lot of channels here on YouTube. There are channels on TikTok. There are options everywhere as far as learning about FICO credit scoring and what you need to know in the basics. However, it's up to you to simply learn what you need to and apply what you need to. But this whole big myth that credit scores are irrelevant and it's a scam and all of this, I understand where that's coming from. That's coming from a place of frustration. I've been there before. You're talking to someone who has been there. I didn't just automatically grow into a good or excellent credit score. I didn't start off with an excellent credit score that I have now. I started off in the poor range. My credit score was in the 500s, and now it might be in the 800s, but it took time for me to work myself up. And that's what I want you all to know. So that's what a lot of people don't tell you. This is not one of those things where it's a secret sauce or it's a special code or trick that you're supposed to do. A lot of people talk about disputes, and that's cool. Let's say you do get items removed from your credit report. Do you know what goes into creating your credit score? Do you know how your credit score comes about? And if you don't know those things, and if you don't know about credit card utilization and things like that, you need to learn, and you need to learn it ASAP. But I just wanted to share this video with you all because I get a lot of comments, and I understand you're frustrated. I feel the frustration. You're like, hey, I don't care about credit scores. I don't like credit scores. Credit scores are for this or for that. But to be honest, like I always tell my subscribers, at minimum, you want to have your credit score at minimum as a good plan B option. And I just wanted to create this video. Like I said, it's spontaneous. I didn't plan on making it, but I wanted to create this video because of the comments that I've been getting lately. I welcome every single one of you who are new here, but this is how we roll over here. We don't make excuses. This is not a pity party. If I could do it and a lot of my subscribers could do it, you can do it as well. We come from the poor credit range and worked our way up to the good and excellent, and you could do the same. But anyways, if you're new here and you're feeling the vibe over here, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video because I post often. Also, this goes to every single one of you, my subscribers included. Be sure to hit the like button. It literally takes 1 second. Hit the like button. That's your way of supporting this video. It's also your way of supporting this Water Your Soil channel. I appreciate every single one of you for stopping by, taking out the time to stop by and watch my videos. This is Water Your Soil, and I'm out. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right? In the description box below, I always tell people, check out the description box below for extra resources from Water Your Soil. Part of the description box also showcases my book that I have. I have a book. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for years. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. The book is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. Most online bookstores have the book. And the book is basically about how FICO credit scoring works. Once you understand how FICO credit scoring works, you're pretty much on your way to helping yourself build, develop, and maintain a good credit score. So check the book out whenever you get a chance.